Hi, everybody. This is Brad from Major Choice. I'm so excited to introduce a former student of ours, Madeleine. Her and I worked together probably, I'd say, no more than a month ago, right? Maybe a little
Yeah.
long. Yeah. And Madeleine had a fantastic journey through the course. And I'm really excited about sharing her experience in Major Choice with everybody. And hopefully some of you watching might actually get something out of it. So Madeleine, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Madeleine, if you don't mind, maybe just start off telling us a little bit about yourself. Tell everybody who's watching a little bit about yourself. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'm an artist and just finished my first year of community college at Manchester Community College. I'm from Derry, New Hampshire. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Oh,
Don't want
that's
to.
great. Yeah. Yeah, no, and you're busy.
I am busy. I am busy.
But busy is good at 19, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's great. So again, our we'd worked together quite some time here as you went through the course. So I'm going to ask you to think back a couple months and maybe tell the people watching about, again, Major Choice. The idea behind Major Choice is to help students kind of figure out their educational path and where they're headed.
Mhm.
And before we had met, I know that's where you were. You were trying to figure out your next steps, and I'd love for you to share where you were in the process before we started talking.
Yeah. Before I was really confused. The only reason I was really going into community college was because I wouldn't say I felt pressure from my parents, but they kind of encouraged me to give it a shot, and I really didn't know what courses to take. I I was in liberal arts, pretty, general. I didn't know anything about what, I knew that I was an artist, but I was told in high school that you don't make a lot of money doing that. And so I was encouraged to just kind of broaden my horizons. And I was actually looking at anthropology before that, which is
Yeah,
completely different.
yeah,
But
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
so
as an artist, were you steered in one towards one path or another? Like, for example, I know that I think we had talked about you had possibly explored graphic design at one point, maybe.
yeah, I was looking at as many different art careers as possible because I really think that you should have a job doing what you love because then it doesn't feel like a job at all. So
Yeah.
I was looking at graphic design and possibly like animating, but something wasn't clicking. I wasn't really feeling it. Um
Yeah.
I once I found out about Major Choice, I was just like, this is perfect. I can find what clicks. This
Yeah, yeah, that was great. So did you, from the community college perspective, I mean, obviously, those were credits that you were paying for, right? I assume. Yeah. So you were spending money, but you were just kind of just going through the motions, not sure exactly what you were pursuing, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we call those experimental credits. Usually it's just trying to figure out where you should go. And it can get expensive, whether it's community college or 4-year program, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your family thinking? Like, where were they at as you try to figure things out?
They were pretty supportive of, whatever direction I go in,
Hmm.
but they really encouraged me to give community college a try.
Yeah.
Both had tried it and they just they really wanted me to do that and just kind of put myself out there, try some new things. And I'd say like I'm honestly really lucky because they didn't pressure me to go down any route. They just said,
Mhm.
you know, as long as you're putting yourself out there and trying new things, we're happy to, and very supportive to see where you end up. So
That's great. That's awesome. So then we got you into the program, and obviously we have major choice. It's split up into three different missions. The first mission being mission one, and where we kind of do a lot of self-exploration. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that experience, if you don't mind.
yeah, that was great. Honestly, I had a lot of fun doing that, and I learned a lot about myself. I was like, oh man, I didn't think about that beforehand. And then it reminded me a lot of like a puzzle. You're putting all the pieces together and realizing that, you know, which direction you want to go in. And
Mm,
it's all about you. And it really, as much as anyone else tells you to go down a certain route, it's all about you and what you want to do. And when
mhm.
you realize things about yourself, it helps you to find out what path to take. So
Yeah, yeah, that's well said. I mean, I kind of I think of it as being a big jigsaw puzzle too, because you're taking, there's just, it's not just, I think a lot of the challenges that exist in what we do is that people think of us as maybe just a buzz quiz or BuzzFeed quiz, which is crazy because, obviously, there's a lot to what that particularly mission one, what we do, exploring, life events and, influence. I'm curious, did you have a favorite piece to that mission one? I'm
uh,
interested if you personality. I know we did the personality test and the
it
influencers.
was really important to me.
Mhm.
I started realizing that, you know, that has a lot to do with your career.
Yeah.
Being independent or, you know, being kind of like the boss of your own job. We talked about that.
Yeah, for
That would be
sure.
for me and stuff like that. I didn't realize how much that really matters to a job. Like um it completely steered me in a different direction than where I was looking.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know. It was great. It was really cool, and I watched it too. I watched the lights go off as you were.
yeah.
It was exciting for me too. So then, after that, we got into mission two, where we started to explore careers, and we explored quite a few. It was fun. I learned a lot actually.
Yeah.
Um, I was just trying to think here. What do you remember? Which jobs? I know we looked at quite a few, but which jobs did we really sink our teeth into? I think there was the art therapy, right? We looked at that
Yeah,
one.
we started with that one.
Yep.
And then I'm trying to think about it gave me a huge list at first, and then I really dwindled it down though. I remember you being like, "Whoa, I didn't expect you to, you know, I
Yeah,
really
we had
picked
a
it up."
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I still put graphic designer in there. Um and I might have put creative writer in there.
Yes, you're right. Creative writing was in there. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is funny now. I'm like, hmm.
um, and then I remember as we started to explore the art therapy, um, because we were kind of tying, some passion to, your interest there. It wasn't quite working. And then we started to dig into that and pull out aspects of what about art that you really enjoy. And I remember just honing in and finding those almost keywords, career keywords that really,
Yeah.
yeah, that you really started to get you excited. And that's kind of, I remember we just kind of landed on illustrations, which you said right along. Illustration was something that you truly enjoyed.
Yeah. Um it was that part was it was really important, but it was difficult because I had thought about illustration, but I just felt like I said, something wasn't clicking. And
Mm-hmm.
then you start picking apart the different parts and things you like and things you don't like about it. And then that's when I added tattoo artists to the list. And I started, there were very similar things about the jobs, but there were also very different things about the jobs. And I that's when I started steering towards tattoo artists more because of certain values and things that I was looking at, like
Yeah,
independence and
right. I was just going to say we needed to find something that gave you the independence that you were looking for.
yeah,
And another surprising, as part of the research, we realized how much of a demand there are for
yeah,
tattoo artists and how much they're making.
yeah,
And it really was, you know, that's why I learned it. Wow. So it was, okay, well, we went from, you know, possibly pursuing a 4-year degree at a school and doing graphic design, which I think the average salary for graphic designers was 46,000 annually. And then the average salary for a professional tattoo artist full time was 96,000.
yeah.
So yeah, it was quite the eye opener.
I remember you. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody who's gotten a tattoo realizes how much they cost, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, that was a great experience for me too, just working with you as we navigated those waters together. It was really fun. And lastly, mission 3, which we've now call Life Connections. We've changed a little bit, but that's where you actually started to reach out to people in the industry. And
Mhm.
I'd love to tell, if you don't mind sharing your story about what happened there, that'd be great.
Yeah. So you guys gave me a really helpful list of like things to ask about, and it was kind of a fill in the blank. So it wasn't like completely what you guys wanted me to say. I could fill in things and, um, I'm an artist and, I just have a few questions about blank. And then, I got talking to a actual apprentice, that's more important to me than even a tattoo artist because she's like in the first stage. And we got to talking, and I started out asking her the questions, and I did finish the interview, but it was like an actual conversation, like I had known her,
Yeah.
because it was
Awesome.
just, yeah, it's like we were already friends. And I actually have her Facebook now.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah, and
awesome.
her Instagram.
Oh, that's
So
perfect. That's perfect.
yeah,
Good for
it
you.
was just really refreshing. And then I kind of veered off the questions and asked her some other original things, and then she gave me some advice, and it was just really helpful. It's it's just like you can't like joke about that. Like it's just like real stuff right there.
Yeah.
It's raw, you
So
know.
those conversations you had with somebody actually in that position that cement it for you. I imagine it could go the other way too. If talking to somebody, they might go, "Oh, stay away, run away. You don't want anything to do with this."
Yeah.
For you, it definitely cemented your direction, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Everything about it. Just seeing like her workspace. She showed me her workspace on there, and like every single thing she was telling me, I was like, yes, yes, I just checked off another thing on my list. Like that's perfect. So it was great. It couldn't have been any more perfect than it was.
Yeah. No, I love it. I'm so glad that happened. And it sounds like you're still. I guess that's probably why we changed it from experiential, because it is kind of an experiential piece, but we made it into Life Connections because I think what's going to happen is as people start having these as students start having these conversations, we hope the door comes open and then they can continue to talk to these professionals as they pursue those careers.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. And that's exactly what sounds like what happened to you. So
Mhm.
awesome. And how are things going now?
Really good. Really good. After she gave me the advice, I took everything that I learned from Major Choice and her advice, and I started contacting tattoo parlors, asking if they wanted an apprentice, and I learned a lot. I didn't even know that there was a law in New Hampshire. You can only have one apprentice per shop.
Oh,
So
wow.
that crossed off a lot of different people for me.
Mhm.
And then I just found one, and I'm going in today to talk about an apprenticeship, and I have a portfolio, and
That's awesome.
it's great. Yeah.
Well, I am so proud of what you did and where you were and where you are and where you're headed. It makes me feel so good to know that you have a path and you've been when we were talking about your future. I could sense the tension because you weren't sure, and now in talking to you, you're smiling and you're confident about what path you're headed. It makes me feel really good knowing that I had something to do with that. And thank you for that, Madeleine. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm really grateful for this experience. And I honestly have no idea where I'd be right now if I hadn't done major choice. Like that was just, oh, it was so good.
Well, yeah. Again, the pleasure's all ours. So, and thank you so much again for letting us go through the journey and record this. And hopefully, like I said, it might help a few students out there. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, Madeleine. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.